Boy, boy. People deluded. I'm back again. Thank you very much for jumping into the Ollie. Man said Ollie. Um, it's a crazy game. I'm still trying to gather my thoughts, people. Let me do that again. People deluded. I hope you're all doing well and safe. Obviously, as you lot all know, Arsenal 3, Olympiacos 1. Olympiacos 1, Arsenal 3. We've got three away, focusing on the positives, three vital away goals, winning in the game and giving ourselves a healthy sort of lead. So now we can further focus on, obviously, Spurs. Positives, I think Bellerin was good. Willian got another assist. Gabriel, in his first start in a while, did very good. Obviously, Odegaard got his first goal for the club. Cracker from El Nene. I think the goalkeeper helped us a bit for two of our goals, but they're the positives. And obviously, we reacted well from an initial setback, people, initially in the game, within the game. It is what it is in that point. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, people. I'm just going to jump straight into my comments and things. Big up Liam. I appreciate everyone who was in the watch along. 400 likes, unheard of for me. I appreciate that, man. Daniel is saying, really nice commentary, bro. You got a Portuguese support here. I appreciate that. Can we keep getting up the likes like Liam is saying? But people, thank you very much for tuning in. Please get your comments in. Please hit the like button as well. Let me just get over and done with my thoughts in the game, people. Now, an emotional roller coaster would be the best way to describe that. Scoring a goal, they were equalizing, and then, we won. And I think, like Arsenal, Arsenal, there's a lot of players and managers and all these things. They polarize opinion. It's never quite straight. Now, watching that game, you're either going to focus on the positives. We did press well. I felt we were winning the ball back in their half a lot. 3 away goals, obviously a fight back to get into the game, or you're going to focus on not necessarily negatives, but prevalent points in that we heard this team are better a year from now ago. Well, a year now than going back a year in time. We heard they learned their lessons from the Olympiacos game. Based on what I've seen in the 2 legs against Benfica, let alone last year against Olympiacos, I don't think they have. I think we haven't quite grasped that it's tournament football. I think, a lot of it's great that we won, but if you advance in this competition, the games are only going to get harder. So, it needs to stop. And the thing with Arsenal, we're at that point now where we know exactly what happens in it. We struggle to really create and take chances, which if you look at our goals, we're relying on 2 spectacular efforts and the set piece. We didn't really test the keeper beyond that. We had a bunch of free kicks. We're not managing games right. When we go in a lead, like, for the first 20 minutes, we were on top of them. We didn't quite get that goal. Obviously, even before the mistake was happening, the mistake happened for the goal between Leno and Ceballos. There was incidences throughout the game. Partey got an assist, but Partey made a sloppy pass that could have been swept up. David Luiz also was guilty. Saka was almost guilty. Obviously, Odegaard played a square pass in the first half as well. So these little things need to get out of our game, because when you're doing things like that, when you're not taking chances or testing the keeper and quite frankly scoring goals, things like what we saw when they equalized, or things like when Benfica get the penalty, get the goal, or things like when Benfica got the penalty, or things like today where we can see these things happen. So these players need to realize and stop confusing, being on top of a team with killing the game, because at a point, the penny, I think we allowed them to grow into the game. Second half, they were over us when they changed their formation. First half, we was allowing them to get some confidence. And considering they couldn't get out of their half, considering we was winning the ball back in their half, we had a bunch of possession. We need to score and kill the game. Like I said, it's another game where we're going to focus on fine margins, positively and negatively, a lot of ifs and buts. We need to learn to play well for the whole 90 and kill a game within the full 90. Now we've got 3 goals, 3 vital away goals. It gives us a platform and we can firmly focus now. And for me, obviously 2 of those goals were late. But it gives us a bit of confidence, a little bit of confidence going into the Spurs North London derby. And for those of you who care about other fixtures, Spurs won 2-0 today against Dynamo Zagreb. Roma won 3-0 against Shakhtar Donetsk. We obviously won 3-1. Granada defeated Molde 2-0. It was 1-1 between Rangers and Prague. Manchester United and AC Milan drew 1-1. Villarreal defeated Dynamo Kiev 2-0, and Ajax won 3-0 against Young Boys. So again, the game, you look at some of those teams, it's only going to get better. They're only going to be difficult. Roma and Shakhtar, 2 different difficult teams. You get Spurs or Dynamos, difficult sides. Granada, they're here. Rangers have won the league. Prague, if they win that, they're a good side. United and Milan, could present trouble. Una Emre against us could present trouble. I actually can't underestimate them. My point is the game's only going to come only going to get harder. So we need to cut out these mistakes, whether it's in the league or not. We're making games harder than it needs to be. We're focusing on the positive and negative fine margins. We're not playing well consistently, you know, and it just, there's only so much I feel Arteta can tell you. I think the only things I can criticize Arteta about today, and there's things I can praise him, is I think when they went free at the back, for a stage in that second half, they were all on top of you and you had no answers. And I feel what cost Benfica is as soon as they got 1-1, they changed from that three at the back that they initially switched to for the second half. And I feel that's another game where I've seen that with Arteta now, is that he kind of struggles when a manager changes what he wants to do. And he's quite reactive in that. But positives, obviously, players that he started played well. His subs obviously make him look good. And it is what it is in that regards, people. So it was quite the game. But if I show you my notes, you know me, it's never a deluded reaction video or talking about the games unless we actually have the good old Google Doc. So yeah, first half, I feel we needed to, you know, we're having free kicks. We're taking free kicks and they're not testing the keeper because they're too far away. I don't think we're cutting them open enough. Tierney's putting a couple balls in the box. Nobody's gambling. Odegaard showing for it. He's not being found. And I think he was quite sloppy. You know, he missed a sitter very early on. And like I said, him, David Luiz, Saka, even Partey, there was incidences of them losing the ball in key areas, which Olympiacos should have taken. I did feel we made a positive first 5 minutes. We were on top of them in possession. We had the lion's share of the ball. You know, they had no out ball. They were sitting back. They couldn't get out of their own half. You know, our goal for Odegaard, it actually comes because Partey's won the ball back in their own half. We've not allowed them to play up from the back. And then we went on and scored, which the keeper should have done better. Before I forget, you know, shout out to former Arsenal player Socrates. I think he played very well against his old team. But I think first five we did all right. Odegaard should have scored, and then we had a second big chance where, you know, Aubameyang had an effort off the crossbar. You know, I think that was the header. So we had two chances early on. So I was impressed with us. The possession was us, and it seemed like there was a bit of intent. Like Aubameyang through the middle, it's useless if you're not going to double down and find him. And I think he was quite anonymous, but I think his hold-up playing was better than people give him credit for. I think it was a 5 out of 10 from him. I did think, like I said, 10 minutes in, they couldn't get out of their own half. They were giving the ball a ball away cheaply. And as you could see, our centre-halves are on the ball. Our centre-mids are on the ball. I wanted to see a bit more movement and intention because there weren't some. Saka was quite narrow today, too narrow for my liking personally. You know, I think I was looking at it. Not that him and Willian are playing bad, but could they have swapped? Because I think it was a game where, you know, we needed a right footer on the right hand side and a left footer on the left hand side to stretch them because of how they're playing. And whatnot. Like I said, 20 minutes in, again, we still haven't scored at this point. For as good as we're playing and allegedly and as much possession, we can't correlate that without scoring. It doesn't mean anything. They're still in the game. And there's little bits and pieces where they're starting to realize that, okay, cool, we're here to play football too. And they're starting to put moves. They're trying to put moves together and things like that. And like I said, 20 minutes in, it's all in their half. You know, we're trying to put moves together. I think we've got a lot of time and space and we need to utilize it. I did think we looked on it, and I did like how our pressing weren't perfect, but I did like the pressing, and I did like how he's winning the first and second balls. Like even Willian, he's winning a lot of headers, in my opinion. Like I was saying, people, to highlight that, you know, as long as you don't score, it's always dangerous. You know, someone that plays for Real Madrid and Martin Odegaard shouldn't play the square pass 20 minutes and 50 seconds in that he does. But my point is not to scapegoat him. It's just to be careful because they're knocking on the door and we're self-destructing to a point and you're wary. This is why, as an Arsenal fan, we're sitting there and like, we need to go 3-4, you know. And again, the games are only going to get harder and tougher. So these players need to fix up a lot in that regard. 25 minutes in, yeah, we've had a couple free kicks. You know, Aubameyang's hit the crossbar, give or take, the keeper's tapped it, you know. We're getting in behind, but again, we're not doing much. For 55% of the possession, we've not tested the keeper, something that can be said for a lot of our games. And like I said, crucially, we're allowing them to grow in confidence, people. We're lucky they can't play 5-yard passes because they're starting to try. You know, I'm on my watch along. I wasn't impressed with Odegaard up until this point. I think he was being quite sloppy, but he told me to shut the hell up, really. You know, Partey wins it because we're pressing well and they can't get out there off. Odegaard takes it, and then what a spectacular way to score. That's what I want to see. I want to see you do that sort of thing, you know. You can imagine Real Madrid must have been watching this game. Now there's that positive conversation. Apart from that, You know, second half, I feel Odegaard, when it was 1-1 and we needed to get back in the game, that's when I think Odegaard really turned it on. He looked like a man on a mission to a degree. 34 minutes in, he scores a banger. Keeper, you know, it's poor keeping, but it's a banger. Can't take anything away from him. And it gets us the lead that we need. But I'm looking at that now and saying, can we build on it? Because it's taken us a spectacular effort and really poor keeping to get that 1-0 lead. You know, we need to score some scumbag goals. Can we, you know, some tap-ins and that, and put some daylight in this? We've had 8 attempts at that point, and, you know, Odegaard's the first one I can really remember apart from the ones in the beginning. You know, it's taken some magic to take the lead. Like I said, we need some scumbag goals, and once again, it all came from pressing. To highlight once again that we're making silly mistakes, David Luiz, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, give or take, like Odegaard, before half-time. You know, it's a square pass and it could have been capitalized on. And that's the thing. We've got these mistakes in us. I don't think Arteta can coach these things out without getting better players to a degree, or any coach that's here. But like Odegaard, David Luiz lost his concentration there. And this is why we need more daylight, better yet, more goals between us. Because as you lot know, 1-0 to the Arsenal definitely in this generation is dead now. You know, them days are gone where we can hold out those leads. Either way, we did enough to get into half-time at 1-0. Now, my thing is this, you know, there's still 45 minutes in this game. There's 90 minutes. So for me, I assume, because if I'm Olympiacos gaffer, I'm telling them stop respecting Arsenal. You beat them last year. You're showing them too much respect. Have a go. They've given you some half chances. You haven't done anything. And I'll be sitting there and saying, I'm not being funny, but we've given them a goal. They've struck it from range, and our keeper should have done better. They're overrated, and I'm worried of that fight back. And obviously, as you lot know, with Arsenal fans, we'll have 90% of the possession. We'll be all over a team. The team will have no chances all game. They have one chance and it's 1-1, and lo and behold, that happened, people. But at halftime, we got the vital goal. Simply put, it took us magic to get that. I want us to build on it, put some more daylight. We need a bit more movement, in my opinion. Obviously, more shots. I think we're doing well winning the ball back in their half. As I said, we're losing focus at times, which is leading to nervous moments, or a couple of them. I feel once again, it shows that we struggle to really break down low blocks or really create sustained pressure, you know, and we have it to different success. You get games like we might draw against Burnley and Palace, games where we lose, games where we win. We need to learn to break down low blocks. A lot of it can be done with Arteta. A lot of the players need to wake up for me. Like I said, I was thinking, do you put Saka on the left? I think we need to go back to basics. Second half, I did feel it looked like they went to a 3-4-3 temporarily, and they were all on top of us at that point. That's the only thing I'm really thinking Arteta could be doing better, because that's where you got to look at your manager. They're on top of us. They're starting to play football. They're starting to get in behind. They're not doing much, but they're starting to on top of us, and we're really at their mercy. There was several moments in that second half where it looked like they could get a second. You know, I know before El Rabi talk about the goal, he had a chance to get a second and he missed. And ultimately, when you don't take your chances, when you start to get complacent, when you creep into old habits, these things happen. And it's highlighted. It happens in the league all the time with us. It's highlighted even more when you're doing things like playing in the Europa League. And, you know, considering this is probably our only chance of getting Europe, to put it nicely, in silverware, I wanted to see a bit more game management. Yes, it's good to fight back and things, but we're making games harder than it needs to be. You know, we hit the self-destruct button once again. You know, it's a calamitous goal. Ceballos has just come on the pitch. Don't know where his mindset is. Between him or Leno, give or take, once I watch it again, I'll have to see, because fundamentally, I think it's both. I think, like against, you know, Leno's bit, like Xhaka was irrelevant to this, but Xhaka's last 2 Premier League games, he's been involved in this madness, as has Leno, you know. I think it's Ceballos, but I also think it's Leno. And I have to say, if Leno doesn't pass it to him, again, I need to watch it again. You know, tactical review, I might change it. But if Leno doesn't pass it to him, it's not a thing. You know, Ceballos has lost the ball, Leno's done it, whatever. For me, I don't care in it, because we win, lose, or draw together. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who makes the mistake. You know, my point is, it was coming. You know, it's Ceballos or Leno, give or take now. In the first half, it could have been Odegaard, it could have been David Luiz. In the same way in recent weeks, it's been Ceballos in the last Europa League game, as you lot know. It's been Leno at times, it's been Xhaka, it's been Cedric, it's been Bellerin, who I think was good today. The point is, we've got that in our team, and that needs to be addressed, and only the players can do that. It was coming. My point being, we didn't do enough, and this is what happens. Much like in the game against Benfica in the first leg, you're not taking chances. Lo and behold, a contentious penalty, and you're behind. So at this point, I'm starting to get angry, because I did feel they were in the driving seat. Like I said, I think what helped Olympiacos is that they actually it's like they immediately rubbed out playing three at the back as they got back in the game. Like you saw their number 5, he was playing in midfield, their captain, go as part of a back three. And I think they had our number. But yeah, to make it 1-1, El Rabi scored, is an easier goal. And, before the game, we was looking at the stats. Apparently, while he's got 17, 18 goals in the domestic league, he only scored prior to this game 1 in 7. And I said in the live stream, in the build-up, he'll probably make it 2 in 8. And, we all knew that was happening. I have to question the mindset because, again, the manager can tell you so much, but the players need to know, that these little mistakes are creeping into their game, that they're not killing off the game, that they need to score more. Now, I don't think they're idiots. They know that, but I need to see that. Manager can give you Arteta can give you all the water or all the Hennessy he wants. You lot have to get your chaser and drink it. And I think a lot of you, it's burning up your chest because it's the same old stuff. It's another individual mistake. Ultimately, I felt they were in the driving seat. Ultimately, our mindset's lacking. Again, once again, it's the same themes. Like for me, we've not smelt blood and killed the game. We've not really worked their keeper. We've seen once again a lack of game management. 66 minutes, like I was saying, we're lucky, forgive me for butchering his name, but we're lucky El Arabi hasn't scored. It was going to get peak for us, people. Now, we've turned it around, and I'm not going to lie, good spirit, that's been in our game. We did it against Benfica, but let's stop doing this now. Let's kill off the game so it can be, I long for a day where we score 2-3 goals in contexts like this, as you should. 60th minute comes, you can say, all right, Partey, Tierney, all these guys were playing against Spurs on Sunday. You can come off. We turned it around in the last 10 or so minutes. Big up Willian. Gabriel got an assist. Partey got an assist. Technically, it's another game where Willian got an assist, justifying his start, I guess. Gabriel saved us. Again, it was a good game. You know what I would say? That was a good set piece routine, because if you watch it again, David Luiz does a bit of dark arts, and he actually blocks off someone. Obviously, Gabriel steps up. And for me, I think Gabriel's our best centre-half. He should be playing, and he's shown why today. He was a bit rash for his yellow card, but he's got a goal, he's got an assist, and I think he had a good game other than that. 2-1, I'm not complaining. It's another away goal. It's a win. Again, it is what it is. We know we shouldn't be in this situation, but it is what it is at that point. Obviously, to make it 3-1, bro, El Nene, innit? El Nene Dino. I said on the live stream, I was like, what? I like all of us, El Nene's made us eat humble pie. It was all like, why is he coming on? And I made a light-hearted joke. I was like, we need to see El Nene. Maybe he is expecting the El Nene of Barcelona. That's what we need to see. Lo and behold, El Nene scores a banger. He gets Gabriel an assist. It's a very good goal from El Nene. It meant a lot. It gassed me to see him celebrate. I'm happy for him. Obviously, not take nothing away from El Nene, but like Odegaard, again, the keeper's done a bit poor, really and truly for such. Keeper should do a lot better. You know what? I can't complain, because at the end of the day, we messed up for 1-1. We got 3 goals, and then they came off the bench, played well. William got an assist. There was a reaction. There is a couple of positives. We got the 3 goals, we got the win. The negatives are, again, cheap mistakes. We need to play well for 90 minutes, not well for 20, decent in 10, shaky 5. All of these things. We need to play consistently well. We need to kill teams off. We need better game management. We need to stop with the cheap mistakes, really and truly. We need to learn how to manage games. Sometimes we're starting games off well and then plateauing. Sometimes we're looking better in the second half. There's a lot of things I don't think Arteta can teach these players, people. And again, if we look at the 3 goals, I'm not critiquing them at all. But again, I just think we're not creating real quality. It was 2 moments of magic. Take nothing away from it. Fantastic from El Nene and Odegaard. But it feels like we're relying on these things there too much. And I see them 2 goals. I don't see working the keeper enough. Like, to be fair, end of the first half, I think we had 9 shots, 5 on target. But again, discount that, because at least 2-3 of them were tame free kicks. They weren't really working it. The set piece worked in the end with Gabriel, but our short set pieces were quite lacking. Ultimately, like I said, we're not creating chances. We're relying on moments of magic to score. I did feel when they had 3 at their back for the 20 minutes or so, they had us. Ultimately, we need to remember it's over 2 games, and it's a shameless victory. But like against Benfica, we're relying too much. So based on the 180 minutes against Benfica, previous games against Olympiacos, and what I saw today, I wouldn't go as far as to say what Arteta has said here, in that we've learned our lessons from Olympiacos, or that we're a better team than last year's tie. We won in the last tie. Okay, it's more of a margin, but we won in the last tie. The similarities are still there, and that we're still relying on late goals. And those things I don't think Arteta can teach. the one things I look at Arteta, obviously, I think, many people, the Wolves would have been out if we lost. I don't think Bellerin played amazing, but I definitely think he had a better game than he has. I think Willian looked all right. Obviously, he got an assist. For Odegaard, he's got his goal. Hopefully, he kicks on. I don't think he was amazing beyond that goal in the first half. Second half, I think he was good. Obviously, El Nene off the bench for his once-in-a-lifetime banger. So it looks like the decisions are good. The one thing I will say with Arteta, though, I think we really struggled when we played three at the back. And that is one thing as a manager I'm looking at you to counteract. If a team like Olympiacos, with respect, can do that to us, then imagine the others. Please hit the like button, people. Big up everyone here. I see 345 of you. I am very appreciative of that. Nonetheless, please hit the like button for the guy. In terms of the player/club in general, I say, like everything, people, depending on what Arsenal fan you speak to, you'll focus on not cheap mistakes and all of that, or you'll focus on coming from behind, the fight and the determination and all of those sort of things. People will focus on all positives and all negatives. I just feel we're not killing games. We're relying on small margins to win a bit too much, which is a shame, and we're only going to get harder teams if we go through. So a lot of these things we will be punished by. There was in the second half, Olympiacos really could have got back in the game and took the lead themselves, people. Again, so these lapses in, largely, apart from the goal, the lapses in concentration from us went unpunished today on our end, and we got away with it. You do that against Spurs and Harry Kane and Bell is finding his feet and Son and that on Sunday, it's mad. We need to work on playing well for the full 90. And for me, Arteta can't make these players drink. He can take them to the wall, or like I said, he can give them the Henny. They've got to pour it up themselves. So it's more of the same, Off the top of my head, today is no different from Benfica or Crystal Palace's draw or the Burnley draw. Any 9 times out of 10, we've lost in calamitous circumstances, really and truly, all in the same way. A lot of it is byproducts of this squad and the mad errors they have, and how they're just simply bad habits a lot of these players have picked up. We got away with it, I'm not gonna lie. We needed to win. Would have liked a clean sheet, would have liked a bit more convincing in some aspects, because I think if I'm Olympiacos, I'm actually feeling I can get a result against Arsenal. I don't think he really dented their confidence, but victory, a bit of a safety net for the first leg, 3 away goals. So Olympiacos have to try and offer something going forward. If we can sneak another goal, it is what it is in that regards, people. So what can I say? We won. It is what it is, That's it for the review, really and truly, people. So yeah, what are you guys saying? Please get your comments in. Review, apologies, people. You know how the thing's set. What are you guys saying, people? Please make sure you're hitting the like button. Let me see what the likes are at now. Don't do the guy dirty. What are we at? 163 likes, people. Keep running that one up. I appreciate it. I really do. Moving away from that, though, people, what guys are you saying? You're saying, I like how Odegaard speaks. He's a permanent signing. I hear that, how you speak. I'm used to people being able to speak well at Arsenal. I need to see a bit more than that. Arteta is a blessing to this side. The structure was perfect. Players need to up their concentration for those inexcusable mistakes. Fair enough. Jesse is saying, crucial win today. 3 brilliant goals for us, but still some mistakes. Pardon me. Man of the match for Gabriel. Next up, North London Derby, a must win. And then Olympiacos again. Great evening. Come on, you Gooners. M is saying, just glad we got the win. Still can't have any confidence in this team. S is saying, I don't know if we deserve to win or not, to be honest. A is saying, well, I'm kind of echoing 25 minutes either side of halftime. We didn't play well. I really think in the second half, what's going on with Partey? He just listen. I think he was a bit indifferent. He's at least a 5 out of 10, but he looks off the pace. Gave the ball away unnecessarily and things like that. Bellerin had a decent game within his standards, man. I don't think Bellerin was poor today. I don't rate Bellerin, but I don't think he was poor today. I'm gonna be real, man. Get the likes up, people. They're on to you. It doesn't cost a thing. I appreciate them ones there. El Messi, the best Egyptian in the Premier League, in my humble opinion. Big up yourself, my guy. To be honest with you, it's a bit of both, So I can see why some of you are saying it's Leno, some men are saying it's Ceballos. For me, I don't care who done it. I care about the thought process and the sequence of play and the fact that these things keep happening. Like for me, like I said, and you lot as well, you lot are not stupid. You go back through a lot of our games. there's how many offenders in terms of this. So we need to arrest this. Whether you need to bring in players with an inability to stop doing this, with an ability to stop doing this, or something else. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Probably will start, man. Probably will. Who's my man of the match? Gabriel for me. And I'd probably say Bellerin after that, you know. I know other people came and had something to say, but I think Bellerin was all right today within the context of what Bellerin offers. Like, I'm not saying he played amazing, but I didn't think I could ask Bellerin of anything today, man. Obviously, it's Bellerin. Bellerin's Bellerin. Again, I'm urging caution, but you get the point, man. DJ is the only consistent as an Arsenal fan. Big up. I appreciate that. I really do. We did get lucky, far too many mistakes. You know, Josh is saying we can't afford to make a mistake against whoever we get in the qualifier, in the quarterfinals. That's true. Just focus on Sunday. You can't do that against Harry Kane and that. They will take you apart. Love, my guy. Love for that, my guy. Love for that. Enjoy your trim. Must be nice for some being able to get a haircut, man. You can't make those mistakes 100%. And Leno, all I will say is Leno's been in last two games. Leno's been involved in them two mistakes, and also for Ceballos in his last two Europa League games, he's been involved in them. So it is what it is in that regards, man. Certain men are gonna have this. And this is it for me. Leno's the eyes and the ears. It's much like the Xhaka one, you know. If Leno clears it or does something else, it doesn't happen. You know, this is why when you lot tell me I have a Leno agenda, I find it tough. I like Leno. He's just too damn eccentric. And it's almost like when Leno, today he wasn't really tested. It's almost like when Leno's under constant pressure, he's certified. It's almost like when he ain't got much to do, the concentration ain't there, the distribution ain't there, and whatnot, man. It's a bit mad. And this is it. Like I said, you know, I'm not saying Bellerin played amazing, but I believe, you know, you praise and critique fairly. Bellerin will always be criticized to the high heavens, vocal, people be vocal and silent to praise him. I think Bellerin was calm today. Now, them certain performances are too far and beyond. I still think we need a fullback. I still think Cedric should play against Spurs, but he did what he could, and it weren't amazing. He did what he could. I think he was better than Saka in what he had. So it is what it is, man. Who's that? I don't know who that is or what you're referring to, my guy, but it is what it is. To be honest, I don't agree with that, Dermot. You know, mistakes are going to happen occasionally when playing out from the back, and he is told to do that, but irrelevant. You know, the Arteta's telling you to play out from the back. He's not telling you to pass it to people under pressure where there's men there. It's not making sense. Listen, we're gonna do. Let's Gunners, Gooners, whatever you want to refer to yourself as. All Spurs questions, we'll deal with that tomorrow and in the build up. Let's forget about all that today. Be a bit, you know, just forget about it, innit? Because you'll make it, you know, let's just enjoy the fact that we've taken the lead, you know, we've come from drawing the game to obviously getting a bit of a safety net. 349 of you in here, people. Only 208 likes, though. Something is up, people. What are you guys doing, man? I thought you looked like the guy. Keep your opinions going in. H, go to sleep, my guy. You've got school. I appreciate you for tuning in. And man, you'll get onto them. They're doing the thing dirty, my guy, man. And this is why it's his fault. This is why it's his fault, S. You know, this is why. Just because of showing for your eyes and ears, it's logically. We've all played football. You play stupid passes, your teammates get dispossessed, and it's happening too much with many different personnel. That's why I'm tired of blaming the individuals. I'm just saying to collectively, all of you fix up. Simple as that. Everyone does, man. Bro, it is what it is. Saka's 19. He should have poor games. I don't know, man. I think this is here to stay until the core of the squad is the players that we feel are good are married with a core of or players that don't are just not. I don't know what it is, whether it's a mixture of these players unable to focus, a couple of these players have just been badly coached, a couple of them are not good enough, you know. So whatever mixture any of these players here already fall under, until we get rid of those players, keep the players, you know, the Sakas and the rest of them, we all know them, and marry them with some players who are free from the things I just spoke about. I think these are still going to happen, you know, because Arteta has a lot wrong, but he can't do this for you, man. At the end of the day, I don't agree. Listen, going into the game, I wouldn't have started Bellerin. Bellerin played good, in my opinion. I wouldn't have played Willian. Willian got an assist and he done all right. I probably even wouldn't have played Odegaard. He scored a goal. I wanted Gabriel to play. He's probably man of the match, arguably. Who else? I was dissing bringing on Elneny at the time. He scored. So, we got the result. So again, when you get the result, nobody can talk about the lineup. It is what it is. I think people played all right. Obviously, he brought on Ceballos and he effed up. But between him and Leno, I can't attribute any of that to Arteta. I can't really complain with the lineup beyond the fact of I would have liked to have seen Pepe play and start and these things I spoke of on the start. So it worked. It is what it is, man. But I have to say yes because he got the result, man. Pepe's fitness worries me. Arsenal Queen has said DG calling us fans scumbaggy in the live was killing me. Bro, it's a shameless thing. We had to scumbag it, man. It is what it is. And we just, for me, it's just that we're winging it. We're winging these games, man. We're winging it. But we are very true. We are our own worst enemies. We engineer our own L's, man. But it is what it is. Today we get away with it. We might not be so fortunate away from that, people. It is what it is. Do you know what it is? Leno's just a bit too eccentric for me. Like sometimes just know you're a goalie. Like I think Leno's one of these modern keepers. If you genuinely said to him, "Do you want to play in the back three? Do you want to play in the back four? Do you want to play in midfield?" I think he'll legitly ask you. That's one thing. I don't want to talk about Martinez. But the one thing I liked about Martinez over him is that Martinez knew he was a goalie. I don't really like these goalies who are, doing up the sweepy keeper, and I like my keeper to be cool with his ball, with the ball at his feet. But other than that, it's a bit mad. It is what it is. David Luiz was a bit booky, of course, bit of a madman. Partey, 5 out of 10. His passing was quite poor. He don't look fit, but at the end of the day, he's played in it. So I can't really say the fitness thing. He must have passed some fitness test. Looks like he needs saving, man. Partey, one thing he can't do is shoot in it. He weren't brought here to score goals, and he's proven it each and every time. Him and Saka were trying just do a madness. What do you say to the Arteta route, man? Listen, I don't really care for the Arteta in, Arteta out. I've been over this already. Me personally, I am not. Listen, I want my manager to do well. I back Arteta, but I haven't seen enough to say you're definitely 100% the guy. I believe wholeheartedly in you. I haven't seen enough to say, you know what, I don't believe in you. Let's picket fence this guy out. So I'm not going to tell the Arteta in or out fans nothing. It's nothing to do with me. There's a lot of good, there's a lot of bad, and with every good win we have, Arteta in fans are gonna say, "I told you so." Every bookie result, you have to get out and all those sort of things. I'm not into that, man. Personally, probably not. I go with Gabriel. I mean, do you know what? Based on how David Luiz been playing, I'll probably lean towards Holding, but Gabriel ain't playing too much. Holding ain't played too much. You can't really put them two together, so it probably will be David Luiz, or he might say Gabriel and go with Marie. I think Gabriel and David Luiz should probably be it. I don't think it's always been starting out from the back. It's just been poor sequences in play. Like we don't stop. Like you'll see someone will lose the ball at one end and they'll go score. But see, there's some logic in it. Yeah, he did look shaky, very shaky. And this is it. Like these, I don't know if it's arrogance, overconfidence, or just not being switched on. But these individual errors are worrying. When you've got one or two of these players, you can arrest it and just not play them. When several players have these errors in there, it's a problem. Do you know what it is with him? I don't mind Marie because he's experiencing the reading of pace. I just think it's a game where you look potentially Bale, Kane, Son, Mora. I think we're gonna need legs. And that's where I'm going with Gabriel. I know Gabriel's a bit rash and that, but I think that's that, man. He's not 100%, but at the same time, he's playing in it. So the manager either needs to not play him or not, because at fan level, we can't really just harp on about that. He's been past his fit. He's playing. So we need to look at it as shaky. Very poor, man. Only one man 9 times out of 10 is making a run. But this is where we're at, innit? Like that game didn't tell us anything new, you know. It didn't tell us anything new. Personally, I wouldn't go 4 at the back, 5 at the back. Sorry, I wouldn't go with it. I'd hit Spurs head on, man. You know, Spurs are not invincible. A lot is made of they're a good team. They're in form. A lot's made of their form. When we're in form for 2 minutes, everybody says it's too early. When they're in form for 2 minutes, everyone says they're amazing. You know, they have a lot of threats. They are in form. We are playing them at the wrong time, but I don't think they're invincible. But the problem is Arsenal defeat themselves. Listen, Partey's still the guy. Don't get it twisted. He's fit. He's still playing people. Do you know what? I think Leno is quite vocal. From what I remember at the Emirates and what I see, he is quite vocal. I just don't know what it is other than that, man. You know, he's just shaky. You got too much shaky, man. And this is what I mean. You can't really, it feels like we're trying to build our house in the sand. And you'll get away with it. You can build a house on the sand, but when it rains, it's gonna go that you can't. When I hear thingy, when I hear brain fart. When I hear you want to give Louise a new deal, you're retaining faith in Leno. Bellerin, it's a bit harsh to throw him in, but Bellerin, you know, these men will have good games, but they've all got mistakes and lapses in concentration. So how is that building a house on solid foundation? Your defense is the house. That's what builds stability, and everything beyond that is everything else. The strikers are all your fancy wallpapers and TVs and stuff. We don't have a decent defense, so it's a bit of a myth in that regard. Man said DG analogies. Sean is saying Mourinho. I don't understand where you smucks learn to spell. I didn't say anything about Mourinho, spell Mourinho, but you don't need to mock people for not being able to smell, mate. You know, considering whatever time it is where you are, you know, it's 11 o'clock basically in the UK, and you're correcting someone in the chat spelling and getting onto them and calling them a smuck. Not using your mother's internet for sensible things. And your mother probably wants some of DG for what it's worth, and I can barely spell my name, my guy. So don't get onto people for no reason. Have a bit of respect for someone. It's early, it's late, you know. You did. I don't. That was sounding a bit classist for me, because I can barely spell. It is what it is in that regards. Please hit the like button. I appreciate all you late goers, people. There's 347 of you. There's 240 likes. There's over 100 of you frauds that have not hit that like button. Pattern up, please. You know what you need to do in that regards. Please hit the like button and help a brother out. I know DG spits bars with them analogies there. Fair play. Trust me, man. Bro, I could bet, bro. Do you know, bro? I remember I was one of the only youths in primary that for like year 1 or something. I was vexed. I couldn't even spell my name because I got like 8 letters in my name. I could only spell the first 4. I was jealous. Like that, man. The spelling thing, man. What's all of this? Like it's English lesson. What's all this about, man? What's all that? Bro, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not feeling the Ceballos one on a permanent. I would take Odegaard back for another year, but I'm not really feeling the Odegaard one. He's good technically, he scored today, but if we're real, I don't really think he done much in that regards, man. A man said you look like you've been through the wars, bro. Of course I've been through the wars, man. This is what Arsenal will do to you. You know, I never looked like this. I never looked like this yesterday. We was talking about the Champions League. So yeah, man, it is what it is. This will do it to you, man. We can't trust on them at all. And yeah, man, Jack, you're right. It's a good result, apologies, but not reflective of how lethargic, slow, and the individual errors. So 100% facts, my guy, 100%. Do you know what? It's boring in the sense of we all know what went wrong. We all know what went wrong. This is the same case of what happens with Arsenal 9 times out of 10. Like, this is how we win, lose, or draw games. These same things we sit here and talk about. It is what it is, man. You know, and that's the thing, poetry in motion. When you got so much, man, with the errors, you can't really do much. You know, you're building your house on the sand. And like I said in the watch along, I said, you know, Edu, to a degree, Edu can't do much. I'm looking at Kroenke, which is wishing on a star. You can't look at this team and think they're levels. It's crazy, man. Big up all my JA ones, man. It is fully a re-one. I'm all for keeping Odegaard for another year on loan. I ain't seen enough. You know, even again, big up to him for scoring. I think he had a very good second half, but I'm not seeing enough, man. Bro, scamming, obviously in isolated incidences, scamming games, you know, you sometimes this, you know, if this was an isolated incident, if this was one result in 5 or 10, it happens, innit? Sometimes mistakes happen. We're just not as good as we have been. These things happen, but 9 times out of 10, this is the byproduct. You know, you can even go back to our 0-0 draw against Crystal Palace. A lot of these things happen. It's just we didn't lose. It's crazy, you know. When was the last? Probably, you know what? Probably João Matinho's, and even that we didn't close him down. I'd probably say João Matinho's. I'm sure there was another banger that we've conceded after that game, but I don't know. I'd probably say João Matinho's. What more could you do apart from that? You know, it's crazy. And Arsenal, the kings of false images, because we've played like that and gone on runs of form, and we've got away with it. You know, this is why, you know, you've got to always have balance, because certain people will be completely negative today. Certain men are just going to focus on, yeah, 3 goals, we're going through. We scored 2 goals after a setback, when that's not it. Where the truth is in the middle, that yes, you're right on that side. Yes, you're right on that side. You know, so let's apply a bit of balance. For me, I wanted to learn after that 90 minutes that they have learned from Olympiacos a year ago. Like I said, forget about about a year ago, the Benfica game. I haven't seen learning, because the same individual, I'm being a bit harsh on him. I know Leno's involved, but Ceballos has made a mistake. You made the game harder than it needs to be. You've needed to do this whole courageous thing. You know, it looked good against Benfica, but there's something we haven't done now. Either way, we won, and we know we go into a tough run of games now, and I hope it sets a good precedent, and, you know, hopefully it puts a bit of togetherness and all of these sort of things. And we do what we need to do. It is what it is, man. You know, Ivan has said 2 absolute bangers today. Things went our way. Any other day we leave this game 1-1 or a 2-1 L. Be thankful, people, when we move, but definitely sick and tired of the cheap BS mistakes. Bro, I should let you come on the show. You said it all. I can't add on to that, man. You know, our defense is a false image. We're up there, you know. I think we're only second to City, but are you really confident in our defending? Defending starts from the front. Are you really confident in that? Are you really confident with these defensive errors we've been making, cheap goals, early goals, week in, week out? How much can you improve? How much, you know, at what point do we look past improvement and just say, all right, cool, they've improved to their cool standards, but they're not levels? Because we can't be a great defensive side, or the defensive side to the ability we need with some of these individuals with these errors. It doesn't matter if they play good for 4 or 5 games. If eventually, over a 38-game period, focusing on the league, these men are going to make 10 mistakes. That's going to cost you however many points. If he's going to make X amount of mistakes, he's making X amount of mistakes, he's making X amount of mistakes. How much points is this costing you? Pardon me. It's crazy. It is what it is, man. To be honest, even I want Marie to get in, but people, I don't know, man. I feel Marie, people just bum suck anything he does. Like I really like, not saying you, I really like him, but I think he does some shaky things and people don't talk upon it. That's just me, man. Facts, my guy. Look at it. Big up Triz TV. Like he said, attack scores goals, defense wins you titles. You know, defense helps you breed consistency. No defense means you can't do nothing. You know, if you got a great attack and you're just relying on outscoring teams, we've seen that with some teams, they're gonna hit a tough way, people. Big up yourself, V. I appreciate that, man. You know, some people don't like what I'm saying. 368 of you tuned in at 3 minutes past 11 p.m. over here in the UK. I'm very appreciative of that. 271 likes, people. 365 of you. Can you please do up the like button? On that note, though, people, I think it's time to get into the player ratings. But yeah, let's get into exactly that, people. But before that, couple of stuff. We'll start at 43 past just because I like the timestamp 43. What are you guys saying? Some of the mistakes are so capped you can't get them off. Facts. You know, facts. Marie is backup level. Same with Holding. Half the goals we've conceded were errors. Facts. You know, facts. But time to get into the player ratings. Like I said, people, I'm gonna circle back in a sec. But player ratings time, people. Let me share the screen with you guys. You lot, please be patient so we can all do this in time together. Don't start running across with all your player ratings. Player man said player ratings for players I don't rate. You lot are harsh, man. But let's start with Leno. Now, I'll say 5. But that was you had a serious part in the error. I'll give you a 5 because really Leno had one thing to do and he messed up. But in fact, I got to say a 4, man, because the one thing you had to do, you didn't do well enough. I think it's another game where whether I blame Leno or not, it's a contentious point, because I think it's the both of you. I don't really care about who made the mistake. I think Ceballos, I think on one hand, Ceballos is being stupid. On the other hand, I think, eyes and ears, Leno, and he's not helped him. So I think he should get a 5 by default, but I think because he didn't have much to do, but by the same token, not that you played bad, the one thing you had to do, I'm quite disappointed in that regardless, to be fair with you. So it is what it is. What have you said? What are you lot saying here? DG's got Fortnite YouTubers in the chat. Big up yourself. Who's that? Who's in the chat? I can't see. Someone let me know who's in the chat because I can't see them thing there. But moving on, let's move on. I need to get I'm not going to sit here in cap. Can't remember the whole 11. So let's get into it. I don't want to miss anybody out. We ended the game with 8 shots, people. Eight shots on target. Sorry, 18 shots in total. So yeah, people. Moving away from that, I think Bellerin's going to be next. Hey, big up yourself, my guy. I didn't even see you there, man. Don't know. Talk your things away, my GG. So yeah, let's move. Let's move. So yeah, we're gonna go with Hector Bellerin now. You know what? I think Bellerin deserves a 6, maybe even a 7. I think Bellerin was good today still. I think Bellerin had a good game. You know what? Because I'm harsher on you, I'm going to give you a 7. It's a 6, but I'm going to give you a bonus point because I'm aware of potential unconscious biases that I might have. Do I think Bellerin was Dani Alves? No, but do I think Bellerin was at fault of any of the mistakes? Do I think you tried in the context of your ability? You even put in 2 good crosses and it weren't anything. Like, I don't think much of Bellerin. I still think we need a right back. But, I think he played well today. I'm not going to sit here and lie. I think Bellerin played well. Maybe a 6, man. But, I want to go with a 6 because I think the 6 is coming from my brain. The 7 is coming from my heart. So I'm going to give a 6, but it's a very high 6 for Bellerin. Gabriel, for me, 7. Got a goal, got an assist, was good defensively, obviously a bit rash at times, but he did his thing. Luis just about scrapes a 5 for me. He's on the territory of being like Leno. He done all right, but he could have made a mistake. There were some nervy moments from him as well. It's not that he was poor, he was a bit shaky in that. I'm gonna give David Luiz a 5 to walk away with. Bellerin did block a shot, to be fair. But Bellerin had a good game. Gabriel's my man of the match, and then I'd probably lean towards maybe Bellerin. Obviously, Odegaard's going to get the headlines. So it is what it is. So David Luiz a 5. Tierney, I think he tried as well. I'm going to give him a 6 just about. He did, his standards kind of dropped off, but from the start, I think he set it. To be fair with you, maybe give Gabriel an 8. Just give Gabriel an 8. He ain't played too tough. I'll give Gabriel an 8. Yeah, so that's the back 4. Granit Xhaka, I think it's a calm 5. Partey, I think it's just about a 5. I'm not gonna lie. Partey, your assist saves you because I think you could have been in 4 territory. Didn't look on it really and truly. Couple misplayed passes and stuff like that. Not hitting the target with his shots. It is what it is, man. Even for Tierney gets a 6, but he dropped off by his own standards. So again, better performance from Xhaka, fair play. Partey, bit meaty, if I'm completely honest with you. Is what it is, I'm not going to give an extra point for not making a mistake. You shouldn't be doing that anyways. But yeah, that's the pivot. Odegaard, I don't quite think he was I know you scored. I don't think he was quite of the level to Gabriel. So I'm gonna, I'll give you an 8. You scored. I think he played really good in the second half. I think first half, you almost gave a goal away. You missed an easy chance. I feel, apart from the goal, you didn't really do anything. You looked like a man on a mission when it was 1-1 and it was looking a bit dodgy. A lot of improvements to be made with Odegaard, but I give him that really. I was going to give him a 7. He gets an 8. Like to a degree, Bellerin and the rest of them. I'm conscious of my unconscious biases. Personally, I'm not too sure if we should be making Odegaard a permanent signing. Not that I know it's even a thing. I think another loan could be appropriate, but I haven't seen enough. I see patches. I don't see enough. It is what it is in that regards. Firmly. Bukayo Saka, he put himself around, but he was quiet today. It's a 5. No worries. He's 19 years of age. He'll be back, and Spurs, he will do his thing. I give Saka a 5. I think that's cool, and that's where it should stop. Willian, I give Willian a 6. I think Willian played all right today. He got his assist. I think Willian was calm today still. Didn't stand out, but I think Willian was cool today, man. I think it was poor. I think it was cool, man. I think William was cool. It's not that I'm, when TW, all right. When it's an unconvinced thing, it's not that I'm unconvinced in his ability. I just want to see you play well all the time. So yeah, William gets a 6. I don't think I could ask I can ask Willian anything more, man. I think Willian did all right. Again, it's meaty. It's nothing to praise about, but at the same time, he did have moments he lost the ball in that. But I think Willian played better than I've seen him play. Again, if it went wrong for Willian, I'd be very vocal personally on it and why he shouldn't have played and why I think Pepe should have been there and the rest of it. But it weren't the thing. That leaves Aubameyang. Now, I think Aubameyang can scrape a 5. I personally think it's a 5. I think he was quiet, but I think the thing that jars me is his hold-up play. I actually think he was there. I actually think he tried, but again, he's quite anonymous if he ain't going to be fed. I think he just about gets a 5, but you do want more from our captain. You do want more from our captain. It is what it is in that regards. Collectively, it was a struggle. I can't lie. From Mikel Arteta, I'll give you a 7 because, again, I didn't feel you should have played. I wanted you to play, so you got your system right. I didn't think you should have played. You played well. I didn't have you in my preview, and you played. I wouldn't have started you, and you played all right. So I can't really get on to you guys. I think the subs did well as well. Obviously, before we go on to Arteta, in fact, El Nene, it's an NA really, but 10 out of 10 really just for the goal and banter purposes. Pepe. Who else came on? Pepe came on. Pepe, Ceballos, it was all a joke, Ceballos is the only sub that could really be rated for a significant period of time, and he gets a 4, Again, I just don't think it got going. He could have, I don't want to get onto a man after your first touch, but he could have had an assist with his first touch. I don't think he got going, and in the last Europa League game, he made a mistake. He made another one now. El Nene, just for the minutes he played, 10 out of 10. Obviously, Lacazette and them man there weren't on the field long enough, so it's all an NA for these lot, really, but I had to mention them. For Arteta, like I said, I haven't got really any. I would have been very vocal about things if it didn't bang, So he done all right. His subs did all right, apart from Ceballos. It is what it is. The one thing I think Arteta struggled with, there was a 10-minute stage in the first half. I'm more focusing on the 10, 20-minute stage in the second half. When they went free at the back, they were over us. And it kind of highlights for me personally why I think Arteta can set out a game plan. He can plan. He can do those things. But when another manager changes it up, he struggles. I've seen him do that against Nuno now, Dean Smith. It's happened against Brendan Rodgers at the Emirates, and it's now happened against Olympiacos. And I feel if Olympiacos stayed with their back three and didn't revert to a 4 as soon as they equalized, it could have been something. But it is what it is. Obviously, the changes and the subs, Arteta's never forthcoming with those things and has any urgencies. But again, I was ready to be very vocal on a lot of these things. So we didn't learn too much about Arsenal, but it is what it is. That's the player ratings. We can walk away with that, in my opinion. So yeah, man, I see a lot of you lot's opinions in here. Keep them coming. So yeah, man, it is what it is. Arteta's game plan is defensive. He has no clue on attack. Fair play. Big up yourself. Ceballos missed his first forward pass to Aubameyang as well. Sloppy, that's what I spoke about. He could have had an assist. He weren't there. Weren't really there at all, man. Ceballos isn't getting love at all. Ceballos was terrible, man. And it's not looking good for Ceballos, really and truly, man. There's a lot of rumors allegedly where, Zidane is saying you're getting another chance there and all those sort of things. I don't know. Is what it is. All right, Liam, we should never agree, man. That's the greatest thing about football. We all see things differently, as long as I'm not trying to force my opinion on you, you're not trying to force your opinion on me, then it's all cool. We all see it differently and things like that. Bruv, we learned we still can't trust certain man. Is that learning though? If you already know that, it's not learning though, is it? To be fair, he did head the ball and it hit the crossbar. To be honest, Ceballos can be unplayable at times, and he's got technical ability, but I can see why you're not playing at Real Madrid consistently, man. Can't at all, man. Very true. They can't afford to get complacent. Every game's a cup final, as cliche as it is, man. Needs to get his head right, man. Needs to get 2 mistakes for Ceballos this Europa League game. To be fair, only one resulted in a goal. There is a reason, man. He's not playing, fam. That's why, because he's too immature, man. I never said that, but okay. That's harsh, man. Bro, because he's not developed. He's not smart enough. He doesn't manipulate play enough. He doesn't do things in less touches. He makes those stupid mistakes. This is why it's mad. We do need that. That's what I mean, typically, my dude, when I say we need that bridge player. We need that experienced sort of guy, in which technically we have it in the squad, is what it is. Oh, Samboy's apologies, which you're right, obviously, with that. He has done that. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, people. So it is what it is. We just focus on Spurs now. That's where the focus shifts now. Hopefully, we can get something in that game, people. We're at 292 likes, 347 of you in here. Come on, people. I'm looking at you. Hit the like button. Do what you can for the team, people. Hit the like button. It doesn't cost a thing. Get your comments in. Pardon me. Ceballos needs to learn discipline. He wants to do skill a lot. To me, he sometimes just wants to keep it simple. Fair play. I agree, my guy. If we only have a couple of bob and 20 million, they're saying for Ceballos, that 20 million might as well be 100 to us, which I agree. Go and put that towards a player you more know what you're going to get for, because Ceballos has been there for a minute now. We don't know where he is. Ironically, I think he's a box-to-box midfielder. I thought we was getting a deep line playmaker. Is where it is. Free Martinelli 100 times. Would have liked to have just seen Martinelli in general, my guy. And to be honest, Lacazette and Pepe could probably hold the bench again. My Twitter's been blowing up for tweeting. We need to go, and he's bringing on El Nene. To be fair, you're right. 30 times, 100, 99 times out of 100, you're right. But, that once always happens, and today it was the day, man. I already said it. I feel based on the second half, I gave him an 8 out of 10, but generally, I wouldn't say I was impressed because he only played well I think second half when we conceded, he tried. But apart from that, he almost conceded a goal. He missed a tap in. He scored a spectacular goal, got to discount it a bit, take nothing away from him, but it was poor keeping. I'm not really impressed in what I've seen so far. I wish I had a clue, man. I wish I had a clue, but I don't. I wish I had a clue, but I don't, Lemon. Glad Martin. What did Martin Keown say, my dude? Obviously, I'm online with you. Like, I got no clue what's going on, man. I got no clue what's going on at all in relation to that. Please hit the like button, people. Couple more questions in. Get them in. Fundamentally, I'm happy. I was happy when he scored the goal. Hopefully, he can kick on and whatnot. He's had his little patches, and he had his patches again. But let's be real, man. With all due respect to El Nene, if they let him stay and be a squad option for a year and run down his deal, fair play. But he's probably someone that should be moved on. He's one of these players. There's many players: Xhaka, Bellerin, El Nene. Pair of these players play well in stages. That's it. And that's. I feel that's harsh on him. He's not even going to be able to help us assist with that. Did he answer it? Did he say? Please tell me he said something legitly about Martinelli. Did he say? What was his response? If he said anything? But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying with Partey, why to a degree as well, where I can't really use the fitness one because you're playing these players. And again, if a man's fit to be on the bench, you can't really say all of this, he's working his way back and things, which a lot of it is true, but it is what it is. It's going all right. I ain't going to win it. I'm a bit meaty, but it's going all right. It's going all right. Kane and Son are carrying the team. I'm going to keep them in the team for Sunday, unfortunately, but it is what it is, man. He probably will, man. Should be disappointed, but at the same time, you just got to play well. He signed a new deal. He did play some big games under Mikel Arteta, but it is what it is. I just don't think there's something in his game. He's there. I don't think his reluctance to get rid of Willian is costing in the same way it was costing Pepe. It's costing Martinelli. It previously cost Reece Nelson. It's that really and truly. He wants to play him as that, but that doesn't mean he can't learn elsewhere. Saka is always going to play left or right wing. I've seen Saka play fullback. I've seen Saka play cam. I've seen Saka play central midfield. So again, just because he's going to be a striker long term and all these things don't mean he can't assist on the left. Really, I don't know why. To be fair, when he did play in the FA Cup, he didn't do well. And to be fair, maybe he deems that Martinelli's not doing enough in training. I'm saying I'm not agreeing with that. I don't care about the training thing because we heard when William was playing even worse, he was playing well in training. I'm just trying to see what go on. I don't even think it's that. It could be that, but I just think he just doesn't see him in the best team right now. That's just what I think, and I just think it's the love with certain players. I don't know. It could be anything, man. And this is it. Whenever that, I've always told you, look, whenever Arteta does that Pep Guardiola thing, when he gasses a player too much and talks about him a lot, he's not playing him. He's not. When he gassed up Maitland-Niles, he never played him. Gassed up Joe, wouldn't play him. Gasses up Martinelli, not playing him. When he just says, yeah, Saka's good, he needs to focus. Yeah, Odegaard, this and that, he's playing him. He is trying to win games, but that's, Saka, for me, it's not even a young player thing with Martinelli. Saka, like with Saka, Martinelli gives you more chance of winning immediate games. He gets it. The minute, like I said, as much as I can sit here and talk about all of Martinelli's technical ability, it's his mentality. He come back against City. Remember when we played City in the Cup? Before the game, he's gassing people. That happens sometimes, but you've got to give man a chance, man. Bro, everybody's sick in training. I've done interviews with players. They tell me Nene's wavy in training. They told me Mavropanos is great in training. They tell me some players are shit in training, but I didn't tell you, and I can't speak on that. Bro, it doesn't even matter if you watch City. You need to show me that you can assess a bunch of players really quickly and change it up. And that one there is a madness. So we'll have to see. But I can't lie, people. We're an hour in. It's been a long day for me. I'm going to be back again tomorrow. I'm going to keep it moving. It's 11:21. I can't lie. I'm going to get my dinner, shower, and sleep, people. I'm going to keep it trill. On that note, I'll see you lot later. I'll be back again tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. We'll speak about the Spurs game. We'll speak about, no doubt, some of the talking points today. I'll bring some, statistics, and I want to see what Arteta said in the post about this. But on that note, I'm out, man. People, DG, thank you for watching. Please make sure you hit the like button. There's 370 off of you here. We'll get to 300 likes if some of you just do your thing, man. On that note, I'm out. 300 likes. Come on, man. Let's keep pushing.